Hello everyone. So today I'm gonna cover Edexcel IAL IT made June 2023 and the unit is unit 3 which is under A2. So move to the question number 1. It is saying that manufacturer use IT systems to create new product. Okay. So project manager use many tools such as a smart target to do their job. So smart is a type of tool that it uses by project manager to completed their job. So what's the meaning of project manager? Project manager is actually the type of people who is responsible to achieve the number of tasks that is assigned to other people. So that means they are responsible to do a monitoring that each and every person is actually doing their work or not, and it must be done within their due date, because in the organization each and every task have some due date, right? Within 2 weeks or within 3 weeks they have to complete that certain task. So project manager is a type of the employee or the manager. They're responsible to monitor that each and everyone is working or not. So one of the tag that's saying that they're using a smart target. So they're asking you to write to other tools name that are used in project management. So one of the tool name is Gantt chart, the other one is part chart. So how it looks like when it comes to a Gantt chart. So this, not this. So this is the So this is one of the example of a Gantt chart. Like a project manager, they create this Gantt chart by using 4 weeks a completion task, similar like that, and there is some list of the tasks that need to be done within these weeks. So when it's done, that means it is showing by using a bar type of graph how it will be done within 4 weeks, similar like that. Like it give you a visualization, right? And the part chart is looks like this. This is an example of part chart where it comes like a box template. Okay, so inside the box there's a task, date and duration, the start date and the finish date, similar like that. This is the two example of a Gantt chart and part chart. Okay, let's continue with the question paper. Then the next question is saying that start the meaning of the A in smart targets. So here the thing is that smart is also a tool that is uses to complete the certain task that is monitored by project manager. So what is the meaning of the A? A means attainable, right? So if we look through the tag for the smart one, so here is the meaning of smart. Smart means S means specific. So here it is saying that do set real numbers with real deadlines. Don't say I want more visitors, like that. Measurable means make sure your goal is trackable. So whatever the goal you are doing, it must be trackable, right? So don't hide behind buzzword like brand engagement or something like that. So A means attainable. Attainable means do work towards a goal that is challenging but possible. So whatever you are doing, it must be challenging, but it should be possible, right? And then it comes to realistic and time bound. So this is the, abbreviation of each and every word. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. And then give one reason of using smart target to define project outcome. So what can be the project outcome when we are doing a smart target, using a smart target tools? It must be so that we can complete the task, similar like that, right? So the answer will be the criteria and outcome for project success are clearly defined. So that means when we are doing a certain project in an organization, it is a must things that whatever you are doing, it can be a clear defined solution or clear requirement what we have to do, right? So at the middle of the doing project, whenever whatever the people are doing the project or the employee are doing the project, like this type of things is occurring most of the time. What happened, the project manager or maybe the software developer, they are at the first stage, they are collecting all the requirement. And if the requirement, there is some gap or issue at the middle of the work, they find out there are so many issues are there and it can hamper their project for a longer time, right? Because they again need to go to the requirement phase and then they have to correct all the requirement, or even there is some miscommunication can happen with the client as well. This may also occur, like they can lose their project as well. So by using these smart target tools, the criteria and outcome for project success are clearly defined so that they can get a clear requirement what they have to do. Now, move to question number B, which is complete the diagram to show the steps of the waterfall method of systems development. The first and last step are shown for you. So here the thing is that during the time of software development, there is a different type of methodologies that people are using. So one of the methodologies, name of the methodology is waterfall method. So waterfall method, first step is requirement and analysis. That means you have to gather the requirement from the client. Like one of the client, they want to create a hotel management system, right? So at first what they have to do, they have to sit with the client or the customer who want to make their certain software, and then you have to gather all the requirement that the client wants. So during these steps, requirement and analysis, you have to collect all the requirement that the client wants. After that, after you're gathering all the requirement, you have to analyze, like, is it actually possible? Like some of the requirement that client wants that is not possible within a certain time, or maybe they ask something that can't be possible to make, right? So after that, after gathering the requirement, the software developer need to go through the analysis phase. Then after the requirement and analysis phase done, they start the design phase. Design phase means before starting any type of software development, they have to design it by using different type of tools. Like in unit 1, we already did some of the data flow diagram, right? Similar like that. So that one is mostly for database diagram, but for the system design, we are using system flow diagram, right? Then after we completed the designing, that whatever the software developer design, there can be system design, the database design, similar like that. Then they start implementation. Implementation means here the software developer uses the code to start the working. After completing the implementation, it goes to testing. So where quality assurance engineer, they are mostly responsible for testing. They test that the software working perfectly or not. If there is any issue, then they again send it back to implementation phase. So this phase is actually, circular. So after the software quality, the tester, they make sure that, okay, software is working perfectly. Then they give the finalization to software developer that, okay, the software is working perfectly. Now you can install it to the client's PC. Then it is installed to the client PC, or maybe because in nowadays they are not installing it to the PC, they are installing into the cloud server. Why? Because cloud server don't need to update, or don't need to do. I will tell about this in the next question. So they install it to the cloud server. Okay, then because each and every software are not perfect, each and everywhere it need maintenance. So after it installed to the client server, then there is a part for maintenance. Maintenance is actually run for each and every year. If there is any issues, the client list it down and send it to the software developer. So each year they give the maintenance. Okay. Now we move to question number C. So here it is saying that a team of developers is working on a software product. The team uses computer on a local network to develop the product. Okay. So team uses local network means that team uses their PC to develop the product. However, the finished product will be installed and run on cloud server. That I already mentioned, that I will talk about this here. So why it is not installed in their PC? Why it is installing on their cloud server? Explain one advantage of using containerization to deploy the finished product onto the cloud. So here, just don't need to think about what is the meaning of containerization. It is nothing. Just think about that they are installing the certain product to the cloud. So what will be the advantage? The advantage is inside cloud, they have some type of, container. Just think about a container, a certain of box. Okay. So inside one box, whatever they're doing, they just install whatever the environment that need to run that certain PC. Like my PC is Mac, right? But I can't be able to use any type of Windows software because it won't support in my Mac. But if I use the cloud server, what happened? Inside my cloud, I can install the environment Windows, and then I can run my certain application to there. So cloud is more preferable compared to local machine because some of the environment can't be suitable for that certain product. So based on that, cloud is more preferable. Okay. So if my application, it doesn't matter your whatever you are using, you can use any type of software and you can run it to anywhere inside the cloud. But when it comes to your PC, maybe the RAM is shortage, maybe your storage is less, right? So for the cloud, we can install based on the requirement as well. So that's the answer for question C. D is an aeroplane manufacturer is considering developing a virtual reality flight trainer for its aeroplanes. Discuss the benefits and drawback of using virtual reality in the flight trainer. So we have to think about what can be the advantage and what can be the disadvantage of using virtual reality when they're training their flight trainer, right? So the answer for the advantage or the benefit is like using this training system makes things safer by preventing accidents during live training. So it obviously prevent accident because during the live training there are a lot of number of chances that percentage of accidents can be occur, right? Save time by allowing training while the airplane is being built, and let pilot practice takeoff and landing at different airport around the world without actually going there. So that one is actually saving the time and there is a less chance to occur any type of accident. Then it comes to the drawbacks. So the drawbacks is like building this training system is really expensive. It needs expert to put together all the different hardware parts, and it might not feel exactly like being in a real airplane, which could make the training less realistic. So this will be the advantage, and this is the end of question number 1. Is retail stores use databases. Normalizing a relational database reduces data redundancy because it removes duplicate data, right? So there is less chance, or beside that, there is no chance that there will be any duplicate type of data will be there. So explain one other benefit of normalizing a relational data. So the other benefit is data consistency. Data consistency means data stays more accurate or data is more accurate and there are fewer mistakes because the database systems update all related information together. Why? Because they already mentioned that there is a less reduces data redundancy, right? So data redundancy means there will be no duplicate data. No duplicate data will not be there. So if there is no duplicate data, that means the data will be more consistent, that means more accurate, and it makes the database less fewer mistakes because the database system update all related information together. So the answer will be data is more accurate and there are fewer mistakes because the database system updates all related information together. Now move to question number B, which is our water sports store rents canoes, paddle boards and kayaks to customer. The store uses a database. So number 1 is the database has rules to ensure that any data is entered is valid. Complete the table to name the type of validation used to identify invalid data. So what type of validation a software or a system can identify, and complete the table to name the type of validation used to identify the data. Validation means when we log in our Facebook or in our Instagram, they have a password range, right? Not login, sorry, when we are sign up or register, they have a password, or even in Google as well. So for that thing, somehow if we add only number as a password, it gives us a sign that the password must be in string, special character and letter, right? This is a one example of a validation. Even that our email always carry at this symbol, right? If you somehow miss this or .com, then the validation will tell you that there is some issue with the email address. So similar like that, they are saying that equipment name, this is the information, and the valid data must be paddle board, kayak or fishing canoe, similar like that. But if someone make it blank, it must be invalid. So what will be the reason for this one? How the validation will check? They will check the presence, that the data must be present, right? So the answer for this one will be presence check. And this one is rental period in hours. So it will be 1 to 24. The valid data is suitable between 1 to 24. So invalid data is 30. So if somehow someone write more than 24 words, then the validation type, what the validation type will do, the validation will check the range check. Okay. So it will check the range of the number must be, period must be 1 to 24. Now we'll move to next question. Number 2 is saying that the water sports equipment rented to customers is regularly inspected by qualified technicians. Complete the diagram to show a logical model of the database. Okay, you must include two entities. They mentioned that there must be two additional entities and four relationship and relationship types. So relationship is 1:many, relation type is 1:many, relationship is we have to connect two boxes, right? So they are saying that the water sports equipment rented to customer is already, we get the value of the customer, right? Equipment is also here. Then technician is also here, qualified technician. They say two additional entities. So how we can connect to additional entities? Because if we think customer to additional, right? So customer can rent. So with rental, we can add a relationship. And technician inspected, right? So technician inspection. Okay. Now customer rented, right? Rental, customer rental. So customer and rental had some relationship. And then what we can rent equipment, right? So with rental we have a relationship with equipment. Now they are saying that technician, qualified technician do the inspection, right? So that means technician have a relationship with inspection. And what type of thing they're doing the inspection? They're doing the inspection for the equipment, right? So this is the relation. So that means we already completed the two additional entities. Four relation is done, but now we have to think about the type of the relation. So one customer can rent multiple type, right? So that's why it is in like 1:many. This means many. One equipment can be, one equipment can be rented multiple time, right? And then one equipment can do a multiple type of inspection, because after they rent it to the customer, they need to check, right, everything is correct or not. So each and every equipment is rented multiple times to the customer, and then after the customer return them, they need to inspect it. And who the one who is inspected? Technician is the responsible for the inspection. So one technician inspect a number of times. So this will be the answer for question number 2. Now we will move to question number 3. Question number 3 is about encryption is used to protect data that is being transmitted over the internet. So we need encryption. I think you all should know what is the meaning of encryption. Encryption is actually when we send a certain file to the server, it just, whatever we write it here, like if I write my name here, when it passes through the server, it just try to add some other letter inside, so that the other people can't able to, if someone hack the data, they can't able to identify what is written inside the file. This is one of the example of an encryption. So the opposite side of the people or the server, who is the owner of this recognition or owner of this file, or who is able to get that file, only that people's computer have the decryption key, so they can only decrypt it, and then they can only see what is written in here. So in your WhatsApp, we will get a message that they are saying that end-to-end encrypted data. That means they are providing you the encryption. So similar like that. So the question here is saying that one type of encryption relies on a certificate. So when we get any type of certificate, there is one type of encryption that is stayed on that type of certificate. So a certificate includes general items such as the date of issue. So one of the general item, that each general item means each and every certificate have this date of issues, right? But they're saying that give one non-general item found in an certificate. That means that are specific to each certificate and are critical for the certificate function. That means it is a unique thing that define that certificate unique compared to the other one. So one of the example for uniqueness is the certificate serial number. It can be the digital signature. Digital signature means the sign of the owner, right? Owner. So I can only give you that this is the each and every certificate have a serial number. So you can write serial number of the certificate, right? Certificate. Now describe the role of a certificate authority in the use of certificate-based encryption. So what is the role of the authority? What they're doing in the use of certificate-based encryption? So for this one, so the role of the certificate authority is like when we give our 1 level exam, they provide us a certificate, right? And there is a serial number. So their role, they provide us a serial number. And then when we go for any type of university, we submit our certificate. So that type of university, they have a certificate authority. So the task for them or the role for them is that they get the certificate and they try to validate that it is actually the authentic or not. Besides that, the university also responsible to issue the certificate, right? When a certain time, when a student are graduated, right, they're also getting the certificate. So the certificate authority also issue the certificate from the organization. So the answer will be a certificate authority verifies the authenticity and validity of a certificate. It is an organization that issues this certificate, right? This is the answer. Now we'll move to next question. Question number B. Symmetric and asymmetric are two types of encryption. Okay, so one type of encryption name is symmetric, another one name is asymmetric. So Alice sends a message to Bob using asymmetric encryption, and then this is Alice, right? So she uses asymmetric type of encryption, whereas Bob sent message to her using symmetric, and Bob sending message to her using asymmetric format. So complete the diagram to show the type of required for the messages to be exchanged. You must include plain text, ciphertext, and type of keys. Okay, so the thing is that first of all, we have to understand what is the meaning of asymmetric encryption. Symmetric encryption. So the meaning of symmetric encryption is both the encrypting and decrypting uses the same key. That means same key is uses for encryption plus decryption. Okay, similar like that. Whereas for asymmetric, if I consider about asymmetric, that time one public key and one private key. Public key is used for encrypt the message. So there is one public key, that one is uses to encrypt the message, and then there is one private key that is used to decrypt the message. Okay, remember these things. So then what happened, that when Alice is sending the data, obviously it is a plain text, right? It must be a plain text. So here it will be a plain text. Then encrypted using shared key. That means they said that when it come to symmetric, there is a same keys uses, right? So what happened, the plain text sent by the Alice, it is encrypted using shared key. Shared key means it's just example of a same key. Then they use an algorithm to encrypt the data. So the name of the algorithm is this cipher, PHER, cipher TEXT. Okay. This is the name of an algorithm. Then after it goes to this algorithm, the next part is decryption. So because Alice is using symmetric type of encryption, so here the answer will be decrypted using shared key, right? Shared key. This one is encrypted using shared key. This one is decrypted using shared key. When it is decrypted, after that it is converted to as a plain text. So now it is plain text, right? Oh, sorry, it is already there. So the arrow will be connected to here, and this one will be plain text. Okay. Now Bob gets the messages. After that, Bob will send the message to Alice. So the first format of the text will be plain text. Same, then Bob uses asymmetric type of encryption, right? That means there is one public key uses for encryption, private key uses for decryption. So here there will be one of the box, that one is encrypted data, encrypted using Alice public key, right? Because Alice shared the data, so it's Alice public key, and just put it inside one of the box. Then they will apply an algorithm. The name of the algorithm is cipher text. Okay, after that it will decrypt, the same like this, but they're using a shared key. Here they will use a private key. So the answer will be decrypted using Alice private key. This one also be under inside the box. After the decryption, obviously the data become a plain text, right? Sorry, the arrow will be up. And then this will be the answer. Okay. Yeah, so this is the end of question number 2. Then we will move to question number 4. So question 4 is about a retailer has stores all over the country. The retailer has a customer loyalty scheme. Customer data is stored on the customer relationship management system. So this is a type of system where they're storing the everything related to customer, every data related to customer they're storing on this customer relationship management system. Okay, so figure 1 shows some of the fields used in the CRM system.
So this is the some of the field that they are used to record some of the system. Like number one, they're saying that customer number is one of the field where they are storing the number of customer who call them or similar like that, or maybe they visit to the store, because this is a retailer store, right? Date of last store visit, products bought in last visit, code of last promotional email sent. So this one is actually uses for marketing purposes. Like if they have some promotion for a certain product, they send this type of email to their customer so that customer can able to know that there is some product on promotion. Code of last promotional postal brochure sent, date of last call to customer service phone line, length of time waiting in customer service phone queue, and length of time to deal with the problem. Okay, after that they're saying that the customer loyalty scheme could use field 1 and 3 to identify a customer favorite item. That means 1 is the customer number, 3 is the customer bought in last visit. So based on these two data, they can able to identify their favorite item, so that customer can be sent a voucher, or maybe when there is some promotional, promotion is happening on that certain product, they send email to that particular customer who used to buy it. Then explain one other way that the customer service department could use two of the field used in the CRM system. You must include the field number in your explanation. So you have to think about what can be the two other field that customer can use to improve their services, right? So one of the services is, most of the people can be thinking that they can use for promotional type of thing. Like 1 and 3 is mostly uses for promotional, so that they can sell more product, right? Beside that, they can also think about 7 and 8. So 7 is saying that length of time wasting in customer service phone queues. Like if some of the customer is facing some of the issue, they need to call to the customer service, right? So this is one of the factors they need to consider. Like if the client or the customer are on the phone queue for a longer time, they won't be able to get that much interest to call and give the feedback about certain product, if it's a good or bad thing, right? Length of time to deal with the problem, and then the dealing with the problem should be faster. So if there is a record, like some of the problem they take 2 or 3 days, but it can be done within 1 days, but they delay it, and what can be the issue so that it can improve in future. So the answer for this question will be field 7 and 8. Don't use this one, use and. Okay, and 8 can help. Field 7 and 8 can help identify poor customer service, allowing more agents to be added if needed. Okay, now move to question number 2, which is explain one way that marketing department could use 3 of the field in the CRM system. You must include the field number in your explanation. So based on marketing purpose, we can think about what other 3 field they can use. So we can think that as a marketing purpose, field number 1, 4 and 5 we can consider as one of the marketing things. Like when one of the retail shop are sending a number of email to a customer, it can irritate them, or they can unsubscribe about some type of promotional email, because when there is a number of email, or maybe a same email is going to them for a number of time, it is actually a quite irritating type of to handle this type of things. So based on that, customer number, code of promotional email sent, and number 5 is code of last promotional brochure sent. So these 3 field can be investigate, and based on that they can identify that the customer won't get similar or duplicate type of promotional offer to the customer, right? So the answer will be field 1, 4 and 5 can be used to coordinate marketing activities to prevent sending duplicate offers to customer, right? So it makes them to get more interested about the advertisement or the promotional activities that's sent to the customer, because customer are getting new things each time they're opening their email. So this will be the answer. Now the question number B is, the retailer plan to replace its existing IT system, right? So they already have a IT system, but they want to replace it with something better. The system being replaced are accounting, record keeping, purchasing, and electronic point of sales. The retailer is planning ways to make the changeover from existing system to new system. That means they change it from existing to new system. Complete the table to keep the type of changeover method in case. So when people are actually changing a software to something new, there is one thing they can do. They can completely buy a new software and then remove the older one, and then they just put the new one, install the new one in their local machine. Okay. Other thing is, they are replacing little by little with the new one. So we will, here they are providing the four examples. One of the plan is, the accounting at every retail store will use both the existing accounting software and the new software for the next month. That means after they getting the software, they make sure the software is perfectly working, and beside that, so all the features are covering with the new features. Like they're also wanted to use the older software as well to identify that newer software are working better compared to the older one, so they both are working parallelly, right? So they are not replacing the older one instantly. So that type of thing is called, this type of way to use the new and older software is existing software, it is called a parallel way, right? So it's a parallel way. And this one is, head office will switch the record to switch the record it holds for the stores in Liverpool to the new system, and leave the record of the other stores on the existing system. It will switch the record of the other store to the new system when the new system is working perfectly. So where what is doing, they are waiting for the new system to working perfectly. When it will be working perfectly, they will shift to the new system. It will switch the record of the other store to the new system when the system is working perfectly. So they are not doing the, so using the both existing and the new system together, right? So when the new system will be completely working, during that time they will shift all the record to the new system, and it started working with the new system. So this type of feature is called pilot, right? So when a client want to do something like that, like some of the client came to a software development company and asked them, okay, we want a software, but we want to make sure the software is working perfectly, because when it is working perfectly, we just completely shift all our record to the new system and start working, right? But the parallel one, the client are asking to the software developer that, okay, we are not sure about, okay, the system will be working perfectly or not, or maybe our um, the employee are you mostly used with the older software, right? They are not most used, yeah, like they are not used to be familiar with the new one, so they will work with the both parallelly, so it will be help them to understand and getting the information about the new system together with the older one, right? So this is one of the example. Then it comes to the retail store will use the new electronic point of sales machines, but will continue to use the existing purchasing system for another 3 months. That means here it is saying that the retail store will use the new electronic point of sale machine, but will continue to use the existing purchasing system for another 3 months. Like they already get the new system, but still they want to use their older system for 3 months. This is called phase. So after 3 months, they want to use the new one. The purchasing department at head office will close for a week so that the existing software is removed and the new software is installed on all computers in the department at the same time. So where they are saying that the purchasing department at head office will close for a week. like they will close their shop for a week, so that existing software is removed and the new software is installed. So they will remove the existing software and install the new one at the same time. This is called a direct, right? And here, if you notice, you can guys confuse about what is the meaning of direct and pilot, because direct they're removing the old and also they're installing the new at the same time. But for the pilot, is not at the same time. They're saying that head office will switch the record it holds for the store in Liverpool to the new system and leave the record of the other store on the existing system. That means they, for the other store, they leave the record. Only for the Liverpool store, they shift the record to the new system. It will switch the record of the others to the new when the new system is working perfectly. That means the new system is still not working perfectly, right? So this is the example of a different type of phases, changeover phases, type of changeover. Okay, now we'll move to question number C. The retailer is reviewing as IT governance and policies discuss the need for and features of risk management and disaster recovery policy. Question, they're saying that when a client will get the new software, right, because each and every software is not 100% accurate, there must be some issues or error present there, right? If a tester tested 100% but still a human error can be there, right? So if like a software can be 100% perfect, it can be 99% perfect, but 100% perfect is quite impossible. So based on that, they have to identify the risk and the disaster recovery, like if there is something happen, how they will came up with the risk and what the recovery policies they will provide, so that they will be aware that okay, if there is something happen, they can shift to plan A from plan B, right? So a recovery plan and risk management are essential to ensure that a business can quickly resume operation and return to normal functioning with minimal loss of resources and budget, right? Then they think about risk management involve mostly on analyzing potential risks and disaster. So that means they will investigate what can be the potential risk and disaster can occur, including through checks of the IT system to identify threat. That means they will check the system, like before they install to the customer computer, they need to use this software or test this software for 2 to 3 months to identify if there is any issue left or not. It also includes creating a plan that outlines the step to take in case a risk arises, and also they need to note down what can be the steps they will take if there's something of the risk arises, right? Detailing the responsibilities and responses of employee, like who will be the responsible to fix that certain issues. These policies are regularly updated and may include practical drills to ensure everyone knows what to do in a disaster. Then they will think about how to come up with disaster recovery policies, which help business prepare for both logical and physical disaster. So what is the meaning of logical disaster? Logical can be hacking, right? Can be malware attack. Whereas physical disaster can be earthquake damaging data centers. They include steps for activating parallel sites and transferring processes, right? So if there's something happening, they can use the software. Beside that, they can also parallelly fix that issues. Specific roles and responsibilities, such as who is responsible for backup and server startup, are clearly defined. This preparation is crucial for maintaining business continuity and minimizing the impact of disaster. So the answer will be the answer for question number C, and it is the end of question number 4. Now we will move to question number 5. I store sells item used by swimmers. Okay, so that means the type of product used by the swimmer, they sell this type of items. Then the store currently keeps record of sales in a spreadsheet, shows some of the most recent order manufacturer listed in bracket in the stock bought column. That means in this column this is the name of the manufacturer, this is the order, this is the date, and this is the customer name, right? The store wants to create a database to store the table, so we have to create a database table. And the question is like, create a table showing the database in third normal form. That means when it comes to third normal form, that means we have to make it shorter by shorter, right? Similar like that. And there will be a primary key which is underlined, and foreign key we have to use asterisk. Do not include any data in the table, so we don't need to write any type of table, but using a text we can explain. So go to this and then we'll see how to think about the table. So inside this table, after looking into this table, I think we can first think about the order, right? So we can create an order table at first. So when we'll create an order table, it can be like table dash order. Okay, and inside order we must have order ID, comma, and then we also need the date when this order is particularly happened, right? So we need the date, and who buy it, we need the customer ID, right? Customer ID. And now we'll focus on customer ID because this is an order table, so we need a table for customer as well. So we will move to the customer part now. So now we will move to table customer, right? Okay, before that, order ID is the primary key, right? They are saying that for primary key must be underlined. Okay, write your answer in these boxes. Okay, for example purpose I'm just write it here. So primary key must be underlined. So this is the primary key. I will add it later. So for the customer, obviously we have a customer ID, right? Customer have customer ID and then have customer name. Now we will look over again, and then we can see that we have a stock, right? And then the manufacturer name as well. So based on that, I think we can get two tables. One is stock table, one is manufacturer table. So table, put it here, table stock, 1 minute. Table stock, and table stock obviously have stock ID and stock name as well. What type of stock it is, right? We need name, and we also need the ID of the manufacturer, like who bought this type of a stock, right? Because there's the name of the manufacturer, so we can use manufacturer is short MFG ID. So because we had already taken the ID, that means we need another table which is manufacturer, right? So manufacturer. So manufacturer obviously have manufacturer ID and manufacturer name, right? Table is enough. So we already covered everything. Now we have to think about what can be the primary and foreign key. So for this one is the ID, right? Order ID. This comes only for order, table order, unique. So that means we will this customer ID. So this one will be the order, this one will be the primary key, this one will be the stock ID primary key, this one will be the manufacturer. Whereas for the foreign key, because this is a primary key for the customer ID, right? When I take it to the order ID, it is become foreign key. stock ID. Here it's okay. Manufacturer ID is the primary key for the manufacturer, so this one will be the foreign key, right? So this will be the answer for question number 5. So question number 6 is about a conference center is located in a big city. It has a meeting room. So remember about the name that they're providing, which is it is saying that they have a meeting room, they have a retail space, a hotel, and an entertainment complex, right? That includes a cinema and a bowling alley. That means inside the entertainment complex, they include one of the option, which is a cinema, and the other one is a bowling alley. So number A is they're saying that visitor to the center have access to information points to find their way around the conference center. Each information point has a display, a keyboard, and a mouse. User can search for place name, product name, and other amenities. Draw a diagram in the space provided in the next page to show a suitable interface design for an information point. You must include at least 2 windows, so there will be 2 windows, okay? And then we have to add 1 icon, at least 1 menu, 1 pointer. Pointer means this is one of the cursor, right? Now I'm moving, this is called a example of a pointer. Label to identify a window, an icon, and menu, and a pointer. So we have to do the labeling, but we don't need to indicate any color or fonts, okay? So for the 6 mark, first of all, at least 2 windows, right? If I think about the windows means when we are opening some of the tab inside the browser, this is also considered as one of the windows. It's not only it's not like only an operating system which considered as a windows, right? So when you open a certain application, the opening phase of the application is also considered as window, right? So for that one, from here we will look about that it is saying that it has a meeting rooms, retail space, a hotel, and an entertainment complex, right? So maybe because we have to add the 2 windows, so maybe we can take the meeting rooms and an entertainment as a 2 windows. So how to draw that thing? So first of all, we will think about the meeting room, the windows of the meeting room, how it will look like. So we will create a box at first, okay? And here there is a label. The name of that one will be meeting room. Okay? Mostly for the software, what they do is like for the meeting room perspective, the software is help user to they can able to book the meeting room, right? So because there are a lot of people will be there during that time, so they need to advance book the meeting room so that they can able to use it. So for that reason, we need the name, we need the label, right, where they want to, or maybe you can say the room name here. We also need the booking time, right? So this is the three things that they need to record. So whoever want to record the meeting room, they need to add their name, like one of the name is Maria, the label is the 2nd floor, and the time is 7:15 to 8:15, okay? You can add the second one if you want. The second one can be John. The time level of the floor is 1st floor, and the time is from 9:15. Otherwise you can also add here as a date. It's depend on you, okay? So this is considered as one of the example of a windows. Then they are saying that we have to add another window, right? So we can add the another window as an entertainment. It's because inside the entertainment they say they have an option for bowling and a movie, right? So we choose the movie one. So this is the tab for entertainment. Okay, and here they also say that at least 2 window. We already created the 2 window. At least 1 menu, right? So maybe we can add a menu here so that people can able to choose and they also say that at least one icon, right? And they also mention that user can search for places, so we can add the search icon here. So how it looks like, this one is looks like similar like that, right? So here they can able to search, and here we can add the name. Suppose the name of the movie is Harry Potter. Okay, the second name can be Twilight, and the third you just guess and write it here. Okay, so this one is considered as, this both two is considered as window. Okay, this is a icon, right? This is considered as a icon. This one is considered as menu. And so that means we already add the icon, done. We add the two windows, done. At least one menu, one pointer, right? So one pointer, maybe we can add the pointer here or here. Anywhere you can add. I can add the pointer here. So the symbol for the pointer is mostly like this arrow, right? So this is called pointer. Pointers. That means we also add the pointer as well. And now they're saying that label to identify window, we already did a icon, menu, and a pointer. So everything is done. So the diagram for the two question will be like for the question number 6A is like this. Okay, now we'll move to question number B. So question number B is about the conference centers hotel allow guests to access movies, sports, and their accounts using the TV and remote control in their rooms. Show designs for 3 of the required screens. So here they provided the screen as a design, right? This is also considered as windows as well. So here they are saying that they are using the font, which is 3-dimension, text color is red. Font is 3-dimension type of font they're using. Okay, here they're saying that make a choice, background color red and the text color is green. Here they added a back button, go to previous screen. Okay, if they want to go to the previous screen, they have a 3 option. This is taste history, loyalty scheme, and the account screen, the font of this account screen is plain, text color is green. Type in a name. Okay, so they can add the time. Here they put the countdown for the characters. Find a movie. Here is the movie. They can go to the backspace using X, right? So there is one thing we can notice, the backspace here is, that means we have to go to the back, right? And there is one next. Here it is showing that the back. So they are using a different name for the same functionalities. And the other thing, if you guys notice, then you can see that they uses a different type of font, right? So when we create a certain type of website, it is always a formalities that if you want to make your website simple and quite user friendly, you have to use the font, same font for your website, right? If you use a different type of font in your website, it's not looks good. And beside that, for the coloring factor as well, we always stick with a 2 color maximum, so it makes your website more simplicity, right? Give the website a simpler looks, which is easier to understand, and beside that, it is more visible not only for the people but some of the people who is color blind. So based on that, we have to also think about the what type of color we can add so it can be usable for every type of people. So here they're using a back button color which is red and green. The other one is a plain text color is green, right? So we'll look on that. Now the question they're saying that evaluate the design with respect to 4 rules of interface design. So they already mentioned about the 4 rules of interface design, which is rule number 1 is strive for consistency. Number 2 is seek universal usability, offer informative feedback, and permit easy reversal of action to the user. Answer for this question is, first of all, we'll add an introduction which is saying that so The first we will start with the introduction, which is saying that good interface design makes using a website or app enjoyable, right, comfortable and accessible for everyone, so that everyone can able to access it. They can feel enjoyable, or they won't feel hard to use the interfaces. They must be feel simple, and they can easily understand what type of icon or interface or everything is meant by the website. So here are some important rules and how this interface measure up. So first of the thing, they're saying that strive for consistency. Consistency means try to make it font, color, everything a similar way, right, so that it makes the user more understandable how it looks like. So here the interface lack consistency. The text font for movies, sports and account in the first window is different. So sports, account and movie, if you notice carefully, you can see that this three, or not this three, actually this one is also different. These four are using different type of text, so it's not looks good. Then they're saying that the developer should use a single font for all menu item, right? So it will be better to use a single font for all type of menu item. The back and next button are placed differently on the second and third screen, which can confuse user. Here you can see this one is the back and this one is the next, right? The functionality of both of the button is the same thing, but they are using a different name. So this one is another thing that can confuse user. Which can button with similar function should be in the same position for all screen, right? The position also need to be same. You can see this is one of the position and this is the other position. And then the font sizes are also inconsistent. The title, welcome screen and all text in the second window should have uniform font size. So the font size is different on the second screen. If I consider this one, you can see this is another font. They uses a capital letter type of font here. This was another font. It can be easily visible that they uses a different type of fonts here. So it is not considered as a universal, not universal, sorry, is a consistent, right? Now it comes to the second rule, which is seek universal usability. So what is the meaning of universal usability? So that everyone can able to use it, right? Some of the blind people, they can able to see what is there, because some of the people are color blind, right? So this is the answer for this thing. The interface font and background colors, especially the red and green color, are not suitable for visually impaired users, like those with red and green color blindness. The developer should choose colors with better contrast and accessibility for all user. Titles and subtitles should be in larger font size to be easily noticeable and readable, right? So for the title and the subtitle, they need to make it a bit bigger so that everyone can able to see, the people who have some issue with their eyes power, right? Now they're saying that offer informative feedback. So is they provide any type of informative type of things inside this website? Yes, some of the things they provided informative. So what is this? The interface provide clear instruction and guidance, right? Meeting the rule of informative feedback. It asks users to make choices, guide navigation, like they will provide you the back and next button, and show character limit for search input, like they provide you the character limit, like you can only write 17 characters in this text box. So this is a bit informative. Now it comes to permit easy reversal of action for the user. So what does it mean? Reversal means they can go back to the previous page, right? Is they provide this type of action? Obviously they provide a back button and next button. So the interface allow user to go back to a previous page if they need to change something, right? They have that option, supporting easy reversal of actions. However, the inconsistent placement of back buttons makes them hard to locate. This button should be in similar easily spotted location on all screen, like they provided the back button one is here, the another one is here, right? If they put the back button at the similar places for the both two screen, then what happened? User don't need to search for where is the back button in this particular screen, because they already know the background should be here, but here the background they place it here. So this is one of the mistakes, or you can say this is one of the error. This button should be in similar easily spotted locations on all screens. A backspace button allows users to correct text input mistakes easily, further supporting this role. So overall, the interface follows some good design rules but need improvement in consistency and color choices and button placement to be more user friendly and accessible, right? So this is the end of question number 6 and also this paper. So always remember, for the question which contain 12 marks, always add an introduction and a conclusion, right? So that's it. Thank you.